You guys are gonna love this. Okay, unmute, and here we go.
Let's think about offense for a minute. Okay, so here's why you have ideas. Now, you have ideas so you can orient yourself in the world in abstraction. Now, you might want to think something through before you do it, because if the thing you want to do is stupid and you think it through and you understand that you will come to a bitter end if you pursue that course, then you can kill that idea. Now, maybe you're kind of fond of that idea and you've invested a lot in it, so there's going to be some goddamn pain when you kill your own stupid ideas, and that'll make you offensive to yourself. Now, maybe you can offer those ideas to other people, and you offer them, you say, what do you think of this? And they go after you hard and they kill the idea. Well, of course, that's going to hurt your feelings because it's part of you that's dying.
On top of that, pretty much adding on to what he said, you have the Monsterverse creating something that people enjoy, and when people enjoy it, they make it a part of themselves, as they say. So when you start critiquing it for its quality and its execution of said ideas, people will be offended. People will be offended because you're pretty much killing the bad idea, as Jordan Peterson says. I think it's a very thorough analysis on the concept of stupid ideas, and I think he's doing a pretty good job.
But it's a stupid part. That doesn't mean there's not going to be any pain associated with it. And so it's often the people who oppose your ideas most dreadfully who are in some sense the force that keeps your stupidity in check. Now, that's not always the case, but it's frequently the case. And so what this means, you have to understand what this means, is there's no genuine critical thought without hurt feelings. Do you understand that? No critical thought without hurt feelings. Okay, so then you say, well, we'll dispense with critical thought.
Yeah, dispense with critical thought, that's what he's saying. That is the rise of subjectivism in art. The idea that everything is subjective, people's interpretation is subjective, and the quality is whatever you decide it to be. That is the dispensation of critical thought, and it has been detrimental to art and media analysis for plenty of years, which is why we have Godzilla fans defending the Monsterverse the way they do. Alright, you got Star Wars fans doing the exact same thing, and they've been doing it ever since the sequels came out. Alright, you got people like Alex Ramos, I think that's his name. No, I don't know, I don't remember his name. I think it's Alex Ramos, or if not, then it's the guy the Soups guy, the guy that always defends Marvel no matter what it is, the guy that shills Marvel. I don't remember his name, but his last name is Ramos, and yeah, he has a YouTube channel, and yeah, he's the guy that goes, oh, peak fire, we are so back, the MCU is so back. That's him. That is him. People like him, and fans like him. This reminds me so much of my own interactions with Godzilla fanboys. Yeah, pretty much. There was this one Dr. Skipper response video that said, oh, well, what people think is just people's opinions. Whenever people say it's just your opinion, or it's just my opinion, or it's all just opinions, I immediately disregard whatever it is they have to say. I immediately disregard what it is they have to say, because I know for a fact that they're never going to keep anything concrete. We're never going to have like something concretized in truth at all. That's how we know. It's like a litmus test for whether I should pay attention to people's criticism on media. For me, that is my litmus test. Subjectivity is the usual cop-out when you can't defend something on an intellectual level. Exactly. It is possible to defend good movies that are objectively good, and it is possible to critique movies that are objectively bad, and it is possible to like things regardless of the quality. The liking is the subjective part. It being good or bad and the standards we use to determine that is the objective part. That is the measurable element of criticizing film. It is doable, it is possible, and many YouTubers have done it successfully, and yes, it is doable, it is possible.
Because we don't want anybody's feelings to be hurt. So then they wander off a cliff and die. And so that's not a good substitute. We evolved thinking so our stupid thoughts could die instead of us. Now, the death of a thought is still something that's associated with a certain degree of emotional dysregulation, because the chaos that thought constrained is released when that thought dies, and the future vision that was associated with that thought disappears as well, and so there's a certain amount of dissolution of hope. But it's better to have your stupid thought die than for you to suffer directly, physically, or even die.
Alex Gomez in chat says, I mean, I still think we should be entitled to our opinions, but likewise we should have some standards. My personal opinion on that take is I think our opinions should be justified by the facts. Our opinion should be tied down to the facts. For example, the fact of the matter is Morbius is a bad movie, but it is so poorly made that it is comical. It is comical because you don't expect a movie like a modern day movie to be as bad as it is. But it is. And that's amusing. On top of that, the memes that come out of it enhance the experience of the movie. They enhance the experience of the movie because of the absurdity behind it. That's why it is comical. But the fact of the matter is that the movie is still badly written, badly made. So at that point I'm just separating my feelings from the fact of the matter. So it is possible, and I don't think people should not have opinions on things. That's not what I'm saying at all. I think like the conversations on people's feelings on the movie as well, and the conversations on the facts of the matter are entirely different. They are entirely different conversations, and they should be kept separate because, well, unless you're saying, in my opinion, this thing is enjoyable, but looking analytically, looking from a media analysis standpoint, it's a very badly made piece of work. That at that point, then yeah, it would be justifiable to include the two, as long as you're separating them.
And so if we institute a rule that critically minded people, so those would be disagreeable people, the same people you rely on, by the way, if you're compassionate, to protect you from the idiot hedonistic thugs, if you forbid people's ability to speak in a manner that some, especially the prideful victimizers, regard as offensive, that's no different than stopping them from being able to think critically. And thought has three components. You ask a question, you receive an answer, but then you have to evaluate the answer, and you evaluate the answer with critical thinking. And insofar as you do that, you're going to cause emotional distress. You're going to be offensive.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of the... You hear arguments, like, you hear the argument, right? You hear the thesis. You hear the argument and the thesis. X movie is good. Really? You see the movie, you analyze it, and you go, wait a minute. I've been lied to. Like, watching a movie, a bad movie, almost feels like you're being betrayed in a sense. Because you expect a good art, you expect to be entertained, you expect all of these things, and then over time, like, you're giving this piece of art your time of the day, sometimes your money. It could be just as simple as, oh, I'm giving this movie my money, so I want my money's worth to be displayed on the movie, right? It could be as simple as that. And then you're watching the movie, and then you're looking at the plot, and you go, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. Wait a minute, this is bad. Wait, why are you doing this? Why is this character doing this? The movie wants me to invest in this character, but then they're doing everything in their power to just make me hate him, or just contradicting their characterization, etc. And then you come out of the movie and be like, wait a minute, this movie was bad. And then you go to the person that told you that the movie was good, and you go like, wait, the movie you told me to watch, it was bad because of X and Y reason. And then at that point, you're just analyzing the thesis, deconstructing the thesis, and then you come to the conclusion. And then when you're hit with, that's just like your opinion, man, it feels like a betrayal. Not just a betrayal. It feels like completely disregarding the mental work that it took to analyze and deconstruct the movie. It completely disregarding the effort that it took, because it takes a lot of mental effort to just think about, especially if it's like a super complex movie. It takes a lot of effort. But who am I to say?
So now when Ben, the entire song rotates around the notion of facts and facts versus feelings. Well, feelings can orient you in the world, right? They give us a first pass, low resolution, quick, instinct-laden manner of evaluating the world, literally evaluating it, telling the difference between what's good and what's not. But we've allied that with a much more differentiated communication system that enables us to build a representation of something approximating the objective world. And what we generally do is we refine our emotional commitments with the facts that we gather around us.
Pretty much what I said earlier. He's pretty much, that was completely unintentional. He's pretty much repeating what it is that I said earlier. That is an excellent point. Supported by a clinical psychologist. What do you know? Good art should uplift and encourage goodness in society. Yeah, exactly. See, that's the thing. Like, the quality of art, like I said previously, the quality of art dictates where our society is headed towards. And the type of art that you see nowadays is bananas taped to a wall. Yeah. We're screwed.
Because we can be led astray by our instinct. So, for example,
yeah, we could be led astray by our instinct. Thanatos, our desire to be, our desire to look at destruction. That's the entire thing. Oh my god. Oh my god. This didn't even cross my mind before. Thanatos, the death instinct in psychology. Thanatos. That's what intrusive thoughts are, like when you grab a knife and you go, oh, stab someone with it. That's intrusive thoughts, Thanatos. That's what it is in clinical psychology. And that has overridden the fandom because that's all they want to see. Destruction. Just boom. You got the Scar King grabbing a building with a whip made of a skeleton, made of a whip made of a spine of a titan, and then he grabs the building, a chunk of the building that does not disintegrate for some reason, and then he throws it at Kong, and Kong uses his beast glove to punch it open, and then Godzilla's coming on like Shimo and like just shooting his atomic breath, and then Shimo shooting the ice breath and just destroying the world. That's what that is. That's what that is. Thanatos. No rhyme, no reason. This is why -1 will always be the better movie. This is why -1 will always be the infinitely better movie. Kong and Godzilla and Kong running together, Rocky 3 style. Yeah, I know.
The instinct of a compassionate woman is going to be to feel sorry for like everything and everyone. And fair enough, you know, because there's lots of misery in the world, and there are true infants, and there are children that need to be taken care of, and there are old people, and there are sick people. It's like, so I would say to women, it's like, go out and find someone that actually needs to be taken care of, that would take some work. Have a child, for example, instead of inventing victims so that you could pretend to be female. And so that's exactly what's going on here. So, all right, continue.
Okay, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the whole. That's pretty much the point that I wanted to make, and I'm using a clinical psychologist to support my point. How about that? To be honest, I wasn't actually looking for this, so you can't really call it confirmation bias. I wasn't really looking for it. I just, I came across the video and I thought it was funny. But I really didn't think we were going to be having this conversation. I really didn't think that we would be talking about this subject, at least here in this episode. But I found it, and then I thought about it, and the more I thought about it, the more I thought, wait a minute, this applies a lot with the current writing of the Monsterverse. This applies so much. It is concise, it is precise, it hits all the right points. Like, it's perfect. It's possibly the perfect explanation to this problem here. Now, granted, I highly doubt anybody's going to pay any attention to any of that, but it's as long as someone gets to say it. As long as someone gets to say it, I think that's enough. I think if someone gets to hear it, it's going to be enough. So, yeah.